Have you ever visited a new place and felt like I belong here more than where I live now? There's something about Barcelona. People are different. The way the food tastes here is different. And it makes you wonder, what would my life be like if I lived here? Travel isn't always about escape. Sometimes it's about searching for something more human, more livable. You land in Barcelona, stepping off at Estacio del Nord, that old iron and glass structure that had seen many generations of people arrive and depart. The first breath of that Mediterranean air is thick, with the scent of life, coffee, cigarettes, and the ocean just beyond reach. You drop your bags, the day is young, and the city is waiting. So let me take you to another JD Weekender. Me and my wife have thought about moving to Spain, someplace where people take their time, where lunch is sacred, hours-long affair, where your workday doesn't define your entire existence. I didn't come to Spain to find myself, to eat, pray, love. I came because I was tired of airports filled with pre-checked souls, of work emails at midnight, and of takeout sushi eaten over the sink while watching the world implode on cable news. In America, if you're not hustling, you're dying. Everyone's got a side gig, a 5-year plan, a podcast in development. Spain, they've mastered the siesta. Not just the nap, but the mentality. Life is not a sprint here. It's a very long, delicious lunch with wine. It's a late night walk without destination. It's sitting in a square watching pigeons and people in equal measure. Try walking around a city like Los Angeles without a destination. You'll either end up on the freeway or questioned by the police. Spain invites you to wander. Cities are made for humans, not cars. Public plazas, pedestrian-only streets, benches shaded by 100-year-old trees. This is a place that understands that human beings need to be somewhere, not just to get somewhere. Look, Spain isn't dirt cheap, but compared to the cost of living in major US cities like New York, LA, or San Francisco, it's a dream. Rent is reasonable, utilities won't drain your bank account. You could sit down at a cafe, have a beer, a snack, and still have money in your pocket. You don't need to be rich to enjoy the good life here. That's the real magic. You don't need a summer home or a trust fund to feel like you're living well. Just a decent pair of shoes and an appetite. You don't need a car in Barcelona. Hell, you don't even need a plan. Just a metro ticket and a little curiosity. The subway here is a thing of beauty. Clean, efficient, cheap. Everything is connected. No sitting in traffic, rage breathing. Just swipe in, ride, and wander. As part of our weekend trip, we decided to visit Sitges. It's a 40-minute train ride down the coast, close enough to be convenient, far enough to feel like you've slipped into another dimension. It's a town that's been luring artists, outcasts, and sun-seekers for over a century, and you can see why. In this little town, you realize there's nothing to chase. Stroll the narrow streets, find a cafe with good food, and watch life drift by like a sailboat on the horizon. You come to Barcelona expecting beaches, tapas, and maybe a half-hearted stroll down Las Ramblas, but that's just a postcard. Plaza de España and Font Magica de Montjuic is a place where you can just sit, watch the world drift by, and realize, yeah, they got something right here. It's not about convenience or commerce like Times Square, but you feel the sense of scale, history, a quiet European style. And above it all, the Museu de Catalunya, a fortress of culture with a view that'll knock the cynicism right out of you. Inside, centuries of Catalan art, fierce, emotional, hauntingly beautiful, not sanitized, not curated to make you feel safe. It's real, the kind of art that reminds you Europe didn't just invent civilization, it bled for it. You don't get this in the States. Back home, everything's engineered to sell. Efficiency over experience. But here, it's different. Time slows down. You're reminded that life isn't just about getting ahead. Sometimes it's about standing still, looking, feeling. And it's worth crossing an ocean for. In Barcelona, breakfast isn't rushed. It's not a protein bar in traffic. It's churros, crispy, golden, fried joy, and chocolate so thick it could hold a spoon upright. This isn't dessert, it's a ritual, a slow, deliberate act of indulgence. You dip, you savor, you breathe. And of course, a visit to the Sagrada Família is a must. Yeah, I know, another church. You've seen one, you've seen them all, right? Gothic arches, stained glass, dusty pews, that same musty aroma of incense and old confessionals. Trust me, I've done the rounds. From Manhattan cathedrals to Southern California Baptist megachurches, I've seen the whole menu. But nothing, absolutely nothing, comes close to this surreal, holy fever dream. This is the Arc de Triomphe, a monument not to war, but to welcome. No generals, no imperial ego, no glory-hungry kings or popes behind it. The Arc de Triomphe was built in 1888 for a world fair. Yeah, the Universal Exposition, a kind of cultural mixtape of progress and peace. It was an entrance, not a warning, an open door, not a slammed fist. We can use more of that. Wandering is the meal. The street is the theater. You're just a lucky extra in someone else's centuries-old drama. In America, we pave over the past, rip it up, build another CVS. Here, they build around it. They let it breathe. Let it haunt the present. In some parts of the Gothic Quarter, the stones you walk on are older than most of our institutions, and yet somehow it still works. No strip lighting, no branding, just texture. You don't need a map here. In fact, I'd say don't bring one. Let yourself drift. Let the walls whisper to you. Let the past trip you up. The only way to understand this place is walking through it yourself. You don't come to the Gothic Quarter for the must-see attractions. There are no bucket list items. It's not a checklist. It's a pulse. A slow, deliberate beat that's been going on for 2,000 years. You either catch the rhythm or you don't. There are no straight lines through this place. The streets twist like veins, narrow and uneven, built long before city planning was a thing. Here, getting lost isn't just acceptable, it's encouraged. In Barcelona, they do protest as well. The best experiences don't come with a map. They don't come with a checklist, a tour guide, or a top 10 blog post. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to get lost. Be lost in the present. Here, I don't worry about the past or worry about the future. I just want to be in the present. Las Ramblas isn't quiet. It's never quiet. It's loud, messy, beautiful, and a little bit of a scam. This isn't where locals go to escape. It's where the world collide. Tourists, pickpockets, opera singers, flower vendors, hustlers, drunks, dreamers. It's a parade that never really ends. And sometimes the smartest thing you can do is to stop trying to make sense of it and just walk. This is La Boqueria, a temple of the senses, a full contact sport for your nose, your stomach, and your curiosity. You walk in and you're hit with the smell of fresh cut jamon, sea brine, citrus, and something you can't quite place, but you know you want to eat. Back in the States, food shopping is sterile. Fluorescent lighting, you grab your shrink-wrapped chicken and your bag salad and move on. Here, it's a show. It's life. It's generation of knowledge packed into 20 square feet and delivered with zero pretensions. Walking into La Boqueria feels like stepping into a parallel universe, one where food still has a soul, or it hasn't been shrink-wrapped, sanitized, or drowned in preservatives for a shelf life longer than your dog's. La Boqueria isn't perfect. Yeah, it's crowded. Yeah, the tourists are everywhere. But beneath that, it's still got grit, still has heart, a living, breathing organism built around one simple idea. Food should be honest and taste like where it came from. You want to know a city a little bit better? Don't just look at its buildings. Watch its people. Walk slowly. No agenda, no checklist. From La Rambla to Passeig de Gracia, the show's right in front of you, and it's better than anything you'll find in a guidebook. Plaza de Catalunya isn't beautiful in the traditional sense. It's not romantic, it's real, raw, unpolished. But that's the thing. This is where you see the city move. Wake up, drink its coffee, start the day. After a bite to eat, I keep walking, and suddenly everything changes. Passeig de Gracia, Barcelona's polished, elegant cousin. Wide boulevards, designer stores, and Gaudi's strange, glorious architecture erupting from the earth like a fever dream. Barcelona doesn't play by the rules. It's a city that looks sideways at convention, and no place captures that rebellious, whimsical spirit more than this Casa Batlló. The first thing you notice that it's alive, or it feels alive. The walls, the windows, the floor, it all moves, undulates, like you're walking inside the ribcage of some benevolent sea creature. Everything is handmade, thought through. Even the door handles are sensual, curved to the grip of a human hand. There's a sense of care here, obsession even, and maybe a little madness. Then there's this, the lungs of the house, a stairwell that glows like a cenote in the Yucatan. You won't find anything like this in the United States. This is the living architecture room. This is where you can step into Gaudi's mind. This room is a sensory immersion chamber, designed not to tell you about Gaudi, but to let you feel him, hear the chaos, see the dream in his mind. I'll let you watch it. This isn't La Sagrada Familia. It's older, deeper. It's the smell of old stone soaked in centuries of incense and blood. The first thing you notice is the facade. It's Gothic, sure, but not the kind of Gothic you see in the suburbs of Connecticut, where the churches try to look old, but it's not really old. No, this is real Gothic. A wall of jagged stone and saints with hollow eyes, gargoyles frozen mid-scream, daring the heavens above. This place wasn't built to impress, it was built to last. Not just stone on stone construction, this is endurance, spiritual defiance, a love letter to something greater than you that's written in pain and perseverance. These are the things about Barcelona that move me deeply. From the monument of Columbus to the wharf of Barceloneta near Port Vell, we walk. This isn't Ibiza, it's not Monaco, it's just Barcelona by the sea. You keep walking, following the smell of the ocean, past palm-lined walkways, metal sculptures, sunburned tourists with sand already in their shoes. The language changes from Catalan to Spanish, to French, to English, to something else entirely, all in the space of a few steps. Here, people don't just sunbathe, they live. They talk, they flirt, they argue about whose towel is whose. Old women in sun hats gossip in rapid-fire Catalan. This is where locals and expats and tourists all blend into one long, lazy sigh of sun and salt water. This weird, unfinished miracle of a place, La Sagrada Familia. I saved it for the end, the last stop, the final course of a long, strange, deeply satisfying meal. And it had to be, because there are other places in the world that don't just show you something. They leave a mark. They scratch at your soul. They whisper something in a language older than words. This church, it doesn't whisper. It sings. It screams. It reaches inside your chest and rearranges a few things. That's what this place has done for me. So after this weekend, an imagined life now feels like a destination, a goal that I could chase with eyes wide open. And I could see ourselves belonging here, a part of this story. Thanks for joining our weekend journey. As I make these videos visiting lands far away from our home, it has become a kind of search. A search for that inevitable change we long for. And Spain definitely is a destination we can explore.